Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and welcome back everybody to a brand new video on the channel. Today, what I wanted to discuss is, I was thinking about the top 10 coolest things that PUBG could end up adding in the future. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be strictly related to weapons or anything like that. It can be a vehicle, it can be literally anything, a piece of equipment, an attachment, anything you want that I think eventually could make its way into this game and be very, very cool to see. Now, but before we get into all that, I have something absolutely awesome for you guys. What I'm going to be doing is giving away these small miniature PUBG airdrop crates. Now, unfortunately, unlike the keychains, I only have a very, very limited amount of these, and they're super exclusive, so I recommend that you do enter this giveaway and try and win one. And it's the same rules as always, but if you are brand new around here and don't know how these giveaways work, the only thing you need to do is make sure that you leave a like on the video. Second thing you need to do is make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and the final thing you need to let me know is what would be one cool thing if you could pick anything in the entire world to add to PUBG that you think would be a nice addition. What would that thing be? Use your imagination, get creative, and I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' responses, as you can always come up with some awesome stuff. But that is going to be that, and good luck on this giveaway. As I said, I only have a very limited supply of these, so hopefully I can bring them back in the future, but good luck on this one. Also, last thing, not a requirement, but if you are interested in joining my Discord server, if you'd like some PUBG teammates, or you want to be able to talk to me and different YouTubers within the community, go up in the description, click on the Discord link, and go join the server. We got almost 1,000 members in there already, and people are making friends in there all the time through this game. It's an awesome place to be. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's get started on the top 10 coolest things that PUBG could add. Now, coming in at the number 10 spot, by the way, aren't really any particular order. I just thought of 10 things and listed them down, but coming in at a number 10 spot, I would like to see something like Claymores. I love the way PUBG is currently in its brand new patch and all the things that we have available in the game, but I feel like we could use more cool equipment. The regular frag and the smoke grenade are pretty much the only two pieces of equipment that get used. We have a Molotov and we also have stun grenades, but those aren't super useful in the game currently unless they get buffed or whatever, but they're just not ran a whole lot. But I think Claymores could be a really nice thing where it could guard a certain door position for you, and obviously you'd have to have some counterbalances to it where it's not super overpowered and people could just leave it anywhere, but I think it's definitely a good idea and something to consider. It would make perfect sense thematically with this game, and I'm sure they could implement it in a way where it's fair, it doesn't feel like it's overpowered, and it's actually fun to use as well. Now, coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be laser sights, and what I mean by that is ones that you can attach that like on the side of your weapon that will point forward even if you're like not ADS. That could be a really nice idea, just an extra attachment slot for most of the weapons. Obviously some couldn't have it, but like the M4 and other weapons like that could hold it, that'd be super cool. Its use could be like, it number 1 serves as a visual aid if you're not ADS. It can help you kind of point a little bit better forward in the right direction, and also it could slightly maybe reduce hip fire spread a bit. I think that would be a nice balance. It wouldn't be super overpowered, and it would make sense for the weapon as well. Now, PUBG's had a really big patch literally just a couple hours ago from the time of me recording this video, and they've added a bunch of new things to this game and changed so much about it. Now, there's some new grips have been added. There's like a lightweight grip, I'm pretty sure there's a half grip, and then there's something else. I haven't really got to play with all of them yet, and I mean, while all that stuff is cool, like I like new grips and it makes the weapons handle differently, I kind of want new stuff and new attachments, you know what I mean? Not really just variations of attachments that we already have, you know what I mean? Because the thumb grip, I'm pretty sure, is just a slightly different version of the angled grip. It doesn't have that much of a different effect, so that's kind of pointless. Like, if they would have added a laser sight, that would have completely changed it up, and I think would have been super awesome. But I guess it is what it is, eh? But now, coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be C4. Now, this kind of goes back to the whole argument of I want new equipment in this game, and I think that C4 could be used super tactfully. I think it should be a piece of equipment that's rather rare, but you can use it to either throw or set down, and you'll have to manually set it off. This could be super useful in squad games, I feel like, when it comes to holding down positions or breaking off a certain route. Perhaps you could consider that maybe it can only be found in airdrop crates, but wouldn't that be so cool to be able to use a C4, maybe stick it on a vehicle like an enemy one as it's driving away and blow it up, or stick it to one of your own squad mates' vehicles so you can drive into a certain compound where you know a lot of players are and blow it up. That would be so much fun. Now, coming in at the number 7 spot, and I know this has been equipment so far, but after this one, it's going to change up a bit, but I think a nice addition would be Semtex. Sometimes I just want a sticky grenade when a frag grenade doesn't get the job done, and although they'd probably end up being the exact same kind of damage per grenade and everything like that, the statistics would be relatively the same. It could be used differently to put an explosion on a very certain corner, or if you need to put it on an elevated spot, anything like that, Semtex would be amazing for. Now, coming in at the number 6 spot is something that I actually kind of, I guess, got my wish for in a way. away, and I was thinking this for a while, but this is like a very fast sports car. We have like the regular civilian vehicle like the Dacia, we have the bit more beefy ones like the UAZ, but I was thinking that there could be a sports car that's extremely fast, maybe just as fast if not more than the actual like bike, but the only downside is to it that it's very, very low on health and it can be blown up super easily. That would be the counterbalance to it, but that we kind of did get this in the test server, and now recently introduced to the main game, we have the brand new like 90s muscle car, and it does almost everything I literally just said. It's very fast, it's pretty armored as well. I don't think it's super easy to shoot down. I haven't had a lot of playtime with it just yet, just because it hasn't been in the game for long enough, but from what I understand and from what I've played, it's really not that bad, and it's kind of exactly what I asked for in a way. But new vehicles are something that I'm very lenient on, so if you have a better idea about a vehicle that could make it into this game that would make sense and be fun to play with, let me know in the comment section, as you guys will probably have the most creative responses for it. But getting into our top 5 of the coolest items, these are going to be the ones that I wanted to save for this, as I think they are the better ones and traditionally what you guys would want preferably in this game. But coming in at our number 5 spot is going to be a flashlight. So as most of you guys are probably aware, that very soon in PUBG in the near future, they're supposed to be adding nighttime games. So both versions of the maps like Miramar and Erangel are supposed to have nighttime versions where it's extremely dark. Now this is not to be confused with like the dusk that we have already in Erangel, where it's kind of like a sunset. That's cool and all, but I want an actual like dark mode where it seriously affects the lighting, and having a flashlight on your gun could be super cool. You could easily make it to where on the side attachment for guns you could have either the laser sight that we were talking about earlier or a flashlight, and the advantage to the flashlight would be obviously you can see a lot more, but with the laser sight you wouldn't be able to see as much, but your hip fire and your aim would probably be a little bit better, so it'd be up to you to make that decision. I think that'd be a nice dynamic. Now taking the number 4 spot is something that is absolutely awesome, and it's one of my favorite personally, but this is going to be a thermal scope, and I already know what you're thinking, but before you go ahead and have to type something about that in the comment section about it being overpowered or broken, hear me out on this. So a thermal scope could be something as exclusive as the 15 times, where it's like dumb rare to get out of drop, maybe 1 in 1,000. I don't know the actual statistics for that, but it's very rare to get a 15 times out of a drop regardless. But a thermal could be made just as rare, if not even more rare than the 15 times, and it's not like some other games where a thermal scope would just make it easy mode for you to see people. It'd have a decent magnification, but it'd also be like very realistic, where it wouldn't be like an auto aim where you can spot people, but it would give you an advantage in gunfights, especially long range, and it would help point targets out a lot better than any other scope would. I think that there are some PUBG players out there that get so comfortable in all the stuff that we have in the game right now and don't want anything new because they don't want the game to change. But I think that if we had things like this that are slow additions but that make sense and are fun to play with, like a thermal scope eventually, that could be really cool. I'm very open to the idea, and you can let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Coming in on our number 3 spot, however, is going to be a Submarine, a brand new vehicle, and this is just kind of a fun one. I know this sounds a little bit outlandish, but here was my idea for it. So obviously it works in water just like all the other ones, like the Aqua Rail and the standard boat. However, this one does not run on gas, and the actual indicator could be an air indicator. So if you want to travel by water but don't want to have the inconvenience of people being able to spot you and shoot at you, and you want to travel in safety, you can use a submarine and stay underwater. However, you only have a very limited amount of air in that submarine, and once it runs out, it's done. Like, you can't refill it with anything, and that'd be like a very like one-time kind of situation use only. Now that I'm thinking about it, on the Savage map, that could be low-key really useful, and again, like it's kind of like a weird one. Water vehicles aren't extremely practical in PUBG, but it's just kind of like a fun idea, I think. If you have a better idea for a vehicle though, let me know inside the comment section. But now getting into our final ones here. Coming in at the number 2 spot is a Riot Shield, and this is another one of those things that I think should be in airdrops, but could really change the way that you play the game, and in certain situations would be awesome to have. Do you ever get those like final closing circles where it's extremely unfair, where it's a completely flat zone except for one house all the way over on the edge and the other squad has it, and there's almost nothing that you can physically do just because they have the high ground, they've got the advantage? Now imagine either you or your squad mate has a sort of Riot Shield that can be used as a portable cover. Now it would have to stay on your person, but you could kind of traverse through a more flat area while taking some bullets and allowing your squad to move up and maybe make some kind of move on them. I don't know, sounds like a really good idea to me. It would have to replace one of your weapon slots, so you could only carry that and then maybe one other primary, and it'd also be an airdrop specifically, so there's not like too many per game. I think that would work fine personally. I believe that'd be balanced okay, and you guys can let me know your opinions on that one in the comment section also. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about that. But now coming in at our number 1 spot is a super fun one, and this is going to be some kind of rocket or grenade launcher. And in case it's also not obvious for this one, yes, airdrops only. Having a grenade launcher though that like fires the exact same kind of mechanic as the regular frag grenades, but a lot of them, and you could place them in a certain area, would be so much fun to use. I really like what PUBG does, adding weapons that are realistic and that are fun to play with, but also at the same time, eventually, I think that they should just have like a little bit more fun with their game, and maybe put in just like a little bit more wacky stuff in here that is not necessarily ultra realistic, but it is still addicting game mechanic to play with, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a video game. Just be one of those things where if you are able to get this out of a drop, it'd be game over. It would be the ultimate thing that you can get. And then also, if you see one on the battlefield that your team does not have, it's in the hands of an enemy, like your heart would just sink. Like that feeling in games is what makes us enjoy these kind of things. And if we had a kind of rocket launcher or a grenade launcher that was that powerful, that could do just that. That's one thing that I really do give Fortnite a lot of credit for, is that they're constantly adding in new weapons and new things that aren't necessarily even a traditional weapon. And whether they work or they don't work, if it's not something that people like, then they'll take it out and they'll scrap it. But at least throw in the game for a little while to see if it's fun and see if it's overall healthy for it. And I think that's how it should be personally, and that's just, you know, just my 2 cents on the matter. But that is going to be my list of the top 10 coolest things that I think PUBG could add. And I want you guys to let me know in the comment section of the #1 thing that you think that they should add. And it could be absolutely anything, something off this list or something completely from your imagination. And also go enter the giveaway. The rules are at the beginning of this video. And before we wrap things up here, I really want to say a huge thank you, as we are quickly approaching 100,000 subscribers. And I honestly can't thank you enough. It's been a massive goal ever since I've started this channel. And to finally see this about to come to fruition is amazing. So here's to the time we've already spent together, and hopefully many more years down the road to come. But anyways, I think we can go ahead and pretty much wrap the video up here. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel if you are brand new, and I will see you all up in the next live stream or the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.